Today we're going to be replacing the blower motor resistor and wiring harness on a 2011 Chevy Colorado 3.7 liter. Let's get started. Okay, so what started this all was we'd be running the AC in the car, and our number 3 setting gave out on us. One day it came back and the number 3 setting worked for a little bit, and there was this terrible smell of burning plastic. And actually, ever since we've owned this truck, which is about a year, there's been that burning plastic smell, and it turns out it's actually this resistor under the dash that runs the speeds 1 through 3. 4 bypasses the resistor, so if you're having an issue where only 4 works, this might be your solution. First thing you're going to want to do is locate the resistor, which is, we're on the passenger side under the glove box here. And you can see it's plugged in right here. I've already unplugged the harness that goes to it, but if it's anything like mine was, you're going to have a real difficult time, as you see how burned through that is. So what you can do is start out with these 2 screws here and remove those, and you can remove the harness, the resistor with the harness, and then try and separate it afterwards. I'd recommend, before getting too deep into this repair, verifying that this is your problem. For me it was pretty obvious because we actually have a burnt cable here, and you could see some of the burn marks here. Okay, now we got the resistor out. It was 2 7/32 screws here. Maybe different for your year. Again, this is a 2011. As you can see, the resistor here is pretty toast, and it's gonna be hard to see on the camera, but you can actually see through it. It's burnt all the way through. This is causing our burning plastic smell and our loss of the number 3 speed. Cable also very, very bad shape. So there are a couple options. You can get stuff from AutoZone where you can just clip these and resplice in wires. It'd make my wife more comfortable if I actually replaced the whole thing. So I'm going to go back into the dash here and replace the whole wiring harness in lieu of just this connector and the resistor. So we're going to do the full job. After you've removed your resistor, verify that that's your problem, you're going to want to come over here to the side of the dash and pop off this little side access panel. There's a little screwdriver slot right here that you can do that, the whole thing pops off. After removing the side access panel, you're going to want to remove these 3 screws. They're 7mm screws. These are going to allow us to take off our glove box. With the 3 screws out, go ahead and open up the glove box and carefully pull it off. It's pretty much going to fall out on you, so I'll see if I can demonstrate that here. Goodbye. So glove box is out. Now we have good access to our wiring harness. As you see, this one made in 2011, so probably the original harness. So hopefully after we replace it this time, we'll never have to replace it again. I got my new wiring harness and resistor directly from gmpartsdirect.com. So wiring harness here, resistor here, roughly 50 bucks for the parts, maybe 10 bucks for the shipping, so about 60 bucks. If you're going the harness route, definitely recommend that. All the auto parts stores generally just sell just this connector. And AutoZone comparable is about 40, so you save 20 bucks if you do the AutoZone, but you'd only be splicing the connector. So up to you. Again, my wife wants me to replace the whole thing. So on the wiring harness, you have this main connection and then 4 smaller connections. So this is going to be your main disconnect. You have 2 under the dash. So here's our culprit while we're doing this whole thing. And then there's one more right there, that white one. You trace it back up, kind of over here. And you have another one right there. And then this last one's the hardest to find. There's another wire that comes back out from this guy and traces all the way along here. Come around to this side access panel, and this is why I removed the side access panel. It plugs in, so you can see it comes from over here, plugs in right there. This is the new wiring harness, 2016 manufacturing date. Hopefully whatever was wrong with the last one, they've corrected. So in reverse order, these are the connection points. But before I get to the connection points, let me just talk briefly about there's also these clips that hold the wiring harness on, retaining clips. So there's this one here, which corresponds to there, underneath the dash. And then there is this one, which these 2 wires together go down under, and that's under the dash. And then there's this one, which is right behind the main connector. and that's right behind this guy here. So in reverse order, this little black connector is the one that's behind the side access panel. So kind of pull back and that comes out. This one is kind of upper left of the dash, push down, pull that out. And then these two under the dash, this white one just push and that pulls right out. And then this is the lower motor resistor connector, pull back and that comes out. And then this is your main connector. So there you have it. I'm going to put it on. Fast forward a few minutes and the old wiring harness is out with the new wiring harness in. So the last thing to do is reinstall our resistor and then connect it with this connector. When we put this back together, I'm going to put it with some dielectric grease so that hopefully with this new one we don't get that same burnout. Here is our new resistor, much better. And again, it goes right here and is held up by those two screws. So I'm going to put the resistor in here, put the two screws on, reconnect it, and then give it a test fire. Okay, we got the resistor back in and the connector reconnected with some dielectric grease. Only thing left to do is do a test fire. Except for fire's not what we want. Hopefully it'll just be a test run, not a test fire. Okay, speed 1 works, speed 2 works, speed 3 works, speed 4 works. I would deem that a success. So the only thing left to do is to put the glove box back on and put that side panel back on. So if you had if this video helped you at all, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and so I can keep making videos like this. And if you have any questions, just feel free to leave them in the comments below. And thanks a lot.